Welcome to the virtual Public Information Center for the proposed operational improvements of the Garden State Parkway from Milepost 80 to 83. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority owns, operates, and maintains the Garden State Parkway. The authority is committed to delivering infrastructure improvement projects with the interests of the public as a top priority. This Public Information Center is intended to provide a status update of the project to the public, present the initial preferred alternative IPA that has been considered, solicit feedback from the public on the IPA and any concerns, and to identify additional project stakeholders. Before getting into the project details, we want to help identify the project location. The project is approximately from milepost 80 to 83 on the Garden State Parkway in Ocean County, beginning at the southern limit near the overhead crossing of Burt Street and extending to the northern limit at Interchange 83 of Route 9, 166, Lakewood Road. The project corridor goes through Beechwood Borough, South Toms River Borough, Berkeley Township, and Toms River Township. The project includes Interchange 80 at Route 9 and Dover Road, Interchange 81 at Water Street and Lakehurst Road, and Interchange 82 at Route 37. There are 3 waterway crossings in the project limits, which include Jake's Branch, Toms River, and an unnamed tributary to Toms River. The objective of this project for the authority is to improve accessibility, safety, and travel time along the Garden State Parkway. This is being achieved by providing full access to the Garden State Parkway at Interchange 80 with 2 new ramps that do not exist in the current condition, increasing the capacity and eliminating substandard weaving conditions of the Garden State Parkway mainline, and correcting substandard design elements that exist within the corridor. The corridor has several needs in the existing condition. The Route 9 local road traffic combines with the Garden State Parkway traffic at Interchange 80 within the project limits and separates where the project ties in at Interchange 83. Local traffic needs to have a separate roadway from the main line of the Garden State Parkway. Congestion along the Garden State Parkway mainline, ramps, and local roads needs to be addressed to improve movement through the corridor. In addition, there are insufficient weaving lengths on the main line and between the closely spaced interchanges. Geometrically, the shoulders, median, and lane widths are inconsistent from the Garden State Parkway to the north and south. Lastly, the crash history in the corridor is above the statewide average, contributing to operational concerns. Continuing with the project need are the existing deficiencies that do not meet the design standards of today, since the corridor was originally constructed in the 1950s. The shoulder widths are typically less than the authority's current standards and even non-existent at some locations. The roadway geometry and connecting ramps have several existing deficiencies, including stopping sight distance of vertical curves, cross slopes, and superelevation rates. The acceleration and deceleration lane lengths are insufficient between the closely spaced interchanges. Bridge clearances are deficient, including the vertical clearances under or over the Garden State Parkway and the width of the crossing roadways. The project team is actively coordinating with project stakeholders to account for other projects nearby to help contribute to the success of this project. There are projects underway led by a private developer, Toms River Township, and Ocean County that have been considered. Near Interchange 80, there are planned intersection improvements at Dover Road and Double Trouble Road for a nearby private development along Railroad Ave that are being coordinated. At Interchange 81, there is a proposed roundabout being considered by Toms River Township at the intersection of Highland Parkway, Water Street, Lakehurst Road, and the Interchange 81 Parkway exit and entrance ramps. At Interchange 83, the project team is coordinating with Ocean County on a project in the preliminary engineering phase to construct a new Garden State Parkway southbound exit ramp to Indian Head Road. Now for an introduction of the proposed improvements planned for this project shown on the overview map of the initial preferred alternative that has been developed alongside the other locally led projects mentioned earlier.
The design team has prioritized operational and safety improvements and developed a design that includes separate collector-distributor roadways in each direction, extended auxiliary lanes, upgraded exit and entrance ramp speeds, widened substandard shoulders, and 2 additional ramps to complete the missing traffic movements at Interchange 80. One main goal of the project is to improve the Garden State Parkway to meet current standards. These include geometric improvements to roadway curvature, improving sight distance, rehabilitation or replacement of 11 bridges, guide rail replacement to meet current standards, and upgrades to signing striping and lighting. Stormwater management, including 23 basins and 9 manufactured treatment devices, will be established to control site runoff. There are extensive utility relocations required to construct the initial preferred alternative. The majority of these are located at the interchanges with the crossing roadways. Right-of-way acquisitions will be required, but minimized to the fullest extent so not to significantly impact the local community. There are small or partial takings. These graphics show the proposed cross-section of the roadway in relationship to the existing roadway conditions. These are 2 representative sections within the project limits. The graphic at the top shows the area between interchanges 82 and 83. As you can see, the proposed condition widens to both sides of the existing roadway, providing for standard left and right shoulders, and an added 4th lane as an auxiliary lane to run continuously between interchange 82 and 83 ramps. The lower section shows the roadway between interchanges 81 and 82, where the collector-distributor roadway has added lanes separated from the Garden State Parkway by concrete median barrier to improve traffic congestion and weaving on the main line. There is considerable embankment fill and pavement widening required on either side of the Garden State Parkway. The northbound collector-distributor roadway will have 1 through lane with 1 auxiliary lane, and the southbound collector-distributor roadway will have 2 through lanes with 1 auxiliary lane. In order to provide a compliant collector-distributor roadway adjacent to the Garden State Parkway main line, the interchange ramp number system will need to be modified within the project limits. FHWA's Manual for Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or MUTCD, requires that all ramps exiting and entering from the collector-distributor roadway utilize the same number, considering all the ramps as part of a single exit. For this reason, from south to north, the existing 81, 82, and 82A designations will now be 82A, 82B, and 82C in the final constructed arrangement. There will be no exit with the designation 81 in the future.
Shown here are the proposed improvements at Interchange 80 in more detail. Along the northbound Garden State Parkway roadway, there will be a newly added northbound exit to Route 9 southbound to provide access to points east. This new ramp will bisect an existing stormwater management basin, which will be reconfigured to maintain its effectiveness. The existing northbound entrance ramp will be widened from 1 to 2 lanes to access the Garden State Parkway. These entrance ramp lanes will continue as auxiliary lanes and provide access to the mainline Garden State Parkway and to the collector-distributor roadway. To improve the operation of the signal at the intersection with the northbound entrance ramp, Dover Road westbound will be widened under the Garden State Parkway to accommodate 2 travel lanes beyond the signalized intersection, thereby reducing the green time required for Dover Road and increasing green time for Route 9 northbound onto the Garden State Parkway. Along the southbound roadway, a new southbound entrance ramp will be provided from Double Trouble Road to Garden State Parkway southbound. Patrons that are traveling on Dover Road westbound or Route 9 northbound looking to travel southbound on the Garden State Parkway will take the jug handle at Dover Road and Railroad Avenue, then make a left and travel south through the Dover Road and Double Trouble Road intersection, and finally make a left onto the new Garden State Parkway southbound ramp. To accommodate this left turn onto the Garden State Parkway for the new ramp without detrimentally affecting the existing traffic signal. An additional lane will be provided at the existing signal, and a new traffic signal will be constructed at Double Trouble Road with a designated left turn lane. This new signal will be coordinated with the adjacent traffic signal to facilitate traffic flow through both signalized intersections. The southbound exit ramp from the Garden State Parkway will remain with the same configuration. However, the existing stop condition, controlled by a stop sign, will be upgraded to a traffic signal. The signal will be built with force-off detection along the ramp to prevent traffic from spilling back onto the Garden State Parkway main line. Anytime traffic could potentially queue back along the ramp, the traffic signal will allow for the Garden State Parkway ramp to flush onto the local roadway network. At Interchange 82A, previously known as Interchange 81, the entrance and exit ramps will be accessed from the proposed collector distributor roadways. Along the northbound direction, the exit ramp geometry will be improved to meet current design standards and tie into the proposed future roundabout to be constructed by Toms River Township. Similar to the existing condition, the northbound entrance ramp will continue as an auxiliary lane of the collector distributor roadway that also will serve as the exit ramp for proposed Interchange 82B to the north. The Lakehurst Road Bridge over the Garden State Parkway will be replaced offline to the north of the existing alignment to allow traffic to be maintained during construction. The existing Lakehurst Road Bridge will be removed. Along the southbound side of the Garden State Parkway, the entrance ramp will be improved to meet standards at the same location, while the exit ramp will be relocated north of Lakehurst Road on a new alignment. This new location will allow the ramp to be improved to meet standards and not impact access to Waterline Road while improving the safety and operations of the interchange. The new ramp location will tie into Lakehurst Road at the existing signalized intersection. The park and ride will be reconfigured due to the Garden State Parkway widening in this area. However, the existing number of parking spaces will remain the same.
At Interchange 82B and C, previously designated as Interchange 82 and 82A, the general configuration of the interchange will remain as a cloverleaf interchange. The Garden State Parkway entrance and exit ramps will be improved to current design standards and connect to and from the collector distributor roadway of the Garden State Parkway, eliminating the weaving with mainline Garden State Parkway traffic. Weaving lanes along the Garden State Parkway collector distributor roadway and Route 37 will be maintained or lengthened. Due to the Garden State Parkway main line being widened, shifting the ramps further out, some adjacent properties are anticipated to be impacted. These impacts will be minimized to the maximum extent possible by inclusion of a concrete median barrier and other mitigative methods.
Property acquisitions are required for the proposed improvements identified through the preliminary design effort. Note that right-of-way is generally not required for the Garden State Parkway mainline widening. However, acquisitions are required at the interchanges due to the redesign of all the exit and entry ramps which impact adjacent properties. The table shown summarizes the right-of-way impacts by property type: public, commercial, utility, and residential. The right-of-way impacts on the project varies from partial acquisitions to utility easements to grading and temporary construction easements. There is a total of approximately 15 acres of right-of-way impacted on this project. The project will require approximately 8.81 acres as partial fee acquisitions. However, 7.3 of the 8.81 acres is publicly owned land. The project has limited its residential impact, with only 0.08 acres of residential property proposed to be acquired in fee and easements at Interchange 80 to facilitate construction of the 2 new ramps and associated improvements.
The project improvements impact environmental resources including freshwater wetlands, flood hazard, and riparian zones. The project is located within the CAFR zone, which is Coastal Area Facilities Review Act. New Jersey's coastal zone encompasses tidal and non-tidal waters, waterfronts, and inland areas. A CAFRA permit will be required from NJDEP and will satisfy the environmental assessment requirements pursuant to New Jersey Executive Order EO number 215 of 1989. The CAFRA permit will document any impact on natural resources, cultural resources, hazardous materials, air and noise impacts, and socioeconomic impacts. This project will also require freshwater wetlands and flood hazard area permits from NJDEP. The authority is evaluating the proposed NJDEP inland flood protection rule changes, and they will be addressed as part of the initial preferred alternative. The Garden State Parkway is a historic district, and the New Jersey State Historic Preservation Office will be involved. The southern portion of the project falls within the Pinelands Management Area, and coordination with the New Jersey Pinelands Commission is being conducted. Reforestation and wetlands and riparian mitigation will be required as a part of this project due to the anticipated impacts. Lastly, an Ocean County Soil Conservation District soil erosion and sediment control certification will be required before going to construction for this project to protect the surroundings from construction activities and disturbances. Environmental impacts associated with the project are under investigation and permitting is underway. The project is currently in the preliminary design phase, which is scheduled to be completed by the end of 2023, with final design to follow with an anticipated completion in 2025. Construction is anticipated to begin in late 2025 and with a duration of approximately 4 years. Thank you for your interest in the proposed operational improvements of the Garden State Parkway from Milepost 80 to Milepost 83 project. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, please provide your comments via email to gsp80-83@njta.com. Written comments should be submitted to New Jersey Turnpike Authority, Engineering Department, P.O. Box 5042, Woodbridge, New Jersey 07095-5042. Attention, Vincent Mignella, PE Project Engineer. All our contact information is shown on this slide. Thank you very much for attending.